Hi everyone, I'm Shivany. Like Ahmed said, I'm the team lead for QA at Funding Circle. First of all, thank you very much for letting me share my experience about my experience as a woman in tech. So I'm here to talk about two things. One, my challenges along my journey, and two, about my personal opinion on why I think there are not enough women in tech and what we can do to bring them. Let me start by telling you a little bit about my journey. During university recruitments in 2013, I was attending a few interviews, and then it was time for me to attend an interview by Deloitte Consulting. So one day before the interview, a few boys in my class told me, "Oh, you're going to get hired anyway, because Deloitte hires women anyway." So I tried not to pay attention to that and went on to crack 3 rounds of the interview and got hired. I was very happy, but at the same time I was wondering, was I hired for my ability, or were my colleagues actually speaking the truth? Couple of years down the line, and I was interviewing for a company where it consisted of 15 employees. It was a startup, and all 15 were men. So I went for the interview, and the founder told me that he doesn't really believe in hiring women because he considered them liabilities. So I asked him why, and he said his reasoning was different. He said that it's a startup. I can't ask women to work long hours, put in long hours and work on the weekends, and this is a startup and this is how I want it to work. So I told him that was his perception, and working long hours has nothing to do with being a man or a woman, but just about being committed. That seemed to convince him, and I was hired as a single QA for 6 months for a trial. The arrangement worked out well, and I was asked to stay longer, but my only real struggle there was getting to know those 15 boys who only bonded over beer, pizza, and video games. FIFA, I tried. So yeah, that was the struggle. Now let me take you back to a story which happened on Friday, which is perfect fodder for this interview. I went home from work on Friday feeling quite demotivated and insufficient at work because I was trying to set up my system, trying to set up a local environment, and I was having a lot of trouble doing that. I was running into one dependency issue after the other, and it was quite frustrating. So I went home, and my husband, who sensed my mood, who's sitting right there, he's gently asked me what's happening and tried the situation out of me. And after he listened to me rant about how I feel, he said, "I don't know all of this too, but that doesn't mean I don't know anything. It just means that I need to learn this. And if I can learn this, so can you." And suddenly it seemed so obvious to me that, of course I can. I can learn it. And so that led to a very interesting discussion and very insightful discussion on women in tech and why there aren't enough women in tech. So we have a few common opinions, which I researched on, and a few common opinions are: women have more responsibilities outside of work. Women are naturally nerdy or geeky. And the third one was women don't bring enough quality ideas to the table. Okay, so here's what I think. Women are mystified by tech because I feel that, again, this is just my personal opinion. I may be totally wrong here, but this is what I think. Men are naturally better at claiming victories, maybe because of societal conditioning. And majority of the women look at that and say, "Oh, that must be really difficult. Maybe I shouldn't do that." And then they branch out into different fields. So women, I think, do not see through the initial layer of vanity. Tech, like life, is not cool. It's pragmatic. It may seem cool and mysterious from the outside, but in reality, it isn't. It's very much like video games, it seems cool and mysterious, but it's all about aggregated effort. The more effort you put into it, the better you get. And also a stripping down of the pride, that the aura of, ooh, this is tech. There are geniuses, of course, but that's 1% of the population, and we're going to keep them out of that. But for most of us, it's all about continuous effort, putting in enough effort every day, and we can be just as good as anybody else. How do we do that? How do we get more women in tech? So first, I would say start by creating awareness in schools and colleges about and creating an atmosphere where women take up STEM. They should know that it's not just for boys, or it's not rocket science. All it takes is hard work and discipline. And those two qualities, I think, we possess in abundance. So I think we can easily do that. Also about the number game that, sometimes it's all about the number game, like we want these many women in tech right now. The ratio is already a bit skewed because we don't have enough women taking up STEM. So I would say start from the bottom. Try hiring the right talent, be it a man or a woman, for your team, because you don't want to create a sense of dissatisfaction in the team. But start from the bottom up. Work on the ratios in schools and colleges, and then we can see how women will fly. We will not only have excellent women developers, QAs, or engineers, we'll also have a more rounded, balanced team with a wonderful blend of ideas and perspectives. So yes, to conclude, I would say let's start by creating awareness about STEM and telling them that there's no mystery, there's no aura about it. It's just effort, and which all of us can easily put in. So again, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to talk, and thank you to you for pushing me harder every day. And yes, any questions?